Hi, this is a myofascial release technique for the sternocleido mastoid, which is a muscle, a large muscle on the side of the neck that is a classic contributor to tension headaches. So the sternocleido mastoid, or SCM for short, effectively connects your skull to the clavicle or your collarbone and the sternum or the breastbone. So you can think of the attachment point as being in this general area of the hollow at the base of your throat. A really easy way to get in touch with the sternocleidomastoid muscle is to find the lobe of your ear and then just go a little bit behind that. You're going to feel a bony protrusion there right behind the earlobe. So this is the mastoid process where the muscle originates. Now, if you imagine that point being connected right around this hollow at the base of the throat here, kind of drawing a diagonal line across the side of the neck, and you trace that with your fingers, you can feel this really chunky, kind of ropey strap of muscle there. So you can walk up and down the length of it just to get familiar with the texture and the shape of it. Another nice way to identify the sternocleidomastoid is via movement. So this is a muscle that contralaterally rotates the neck, meaning that if you take your fingertips just anywhere along the length of that strap of muscle and then turn your head in the opposite direction, you're going to feel the muscle jump up and get really kind of active under your fingertips. And the way that we're going to release it is kind of what we were just doing. So it's just gently using the fingers to just kind of lift the strap of muscle and just give it a little massage along its entire length, because there's trigger points along the entire length of the muscle. Now, the way that I like to do this is to lie down and have a little bit of elevation under the head. So grabbing a thin pillow or a folded up blanket or a towel is perfect. And you're just going to come down onto your back and position your head on whatever you're using to support it, whether it's that folded blanket or the little pillow, so that A, it feels comfortable, and B, there's maybe a little bit of a tuck in the chin. So just the tiniest little tuck in the chin there. And then let's go ahead and start on the left side. So again, take your left fingertips to the mastoid process, that bony bump right behind the earlobe. And then feel free to close your eyes and just kind of feel your way along the diagonal strap or length of the muscle down the side of the neck, and then just attaching at the collarbone there. So all you're going to do is just kind of gently pinch the muscle, a little gentle massage along its entire length here. Just going up and down. And thinking of the entire neck and throat just softening as you relax, and give a little bit of just gentle stimulation for the muscle. So because we're on the neck and the throat here, we don't want to be aggressive or press in too much. So it's almost more about just giving a little bit of mechanical stimulation for this muscle. And just allowing the jaw to be soft as well, and the face to relax as you do that. So you might be doing that little gentle pinching motion on either side of the strap of the muscle. Maybe you're just massaging in different spots with your fingertips. You might even go all the way up to the mastoid process, that bony bump, and massage right there where the muscle attaches to the bone of the skull. And just allowing the breath to move really easily as you do this, letting the eyebrows and the temples be relaxed too. In fact, the whole face can just kind of be passive and slack here. You might also walk your fingers up and down the length of the muscle a couple of times. So index and middle fingers kind of lightly stepping along the length of it. And maybe just taking one more trip up and down between the back of the ear and the collarbone before releasing that left arm down by your side, or maybe putting the left hand on the belly, whatever feels good. And then taking a moment to check in and just notice how the left side of the neck feels. And if it feels different from the right side of the neck, maybe it just feels a little warmer or looser. Maybe it feels like your awareness of it is just different, like you have a slightly more detailed mental map of that area. And then we'll do the same thing on the second side, on the right side. So just loosely bringing the right fingertips up to the ear, going right behind the earlobe and finding the bony bump there, the mastoid process. And then walking diagonally down the side of the neck to arrive at the collarbone. And then just going with any of these techniques that we tried on the left side. So maybe it's that light pinching movement just along the length of the muscle. Maybe you're picking a few spots and just massaging. I like to do the tip of the middle and the index fingers together so there's a slightly larger area and you're not pressing overly strongly in any one spot here. Noticing if any parts of the tissue feel especially ropey or tense, which wouldn't be uncharacteristic or unusual, but just getting a sense or a feel for the tissue quality here. Also noticing if one muscle feels more prominent, the right side versus the left side. And finally, maybe walking the fingers, just kind of patting your way up and down the length of the muscle. Just exploring and at all times making sure to keep the sensation in a really comfortable range. So we don't want any discomfort. We just want the face to be relaxed, the full weight of the head to be supported so the neck can be relaxed as well. And then maybe ending with one more pass up and down the length of the muscle using whatever technique you are using or found to be the best one for you. And then ending right at the mastoid process and even massaging a little bit right around there at the insertion side of the muscle. And then just releasing the right arm down. Feeling this whole area of the head, face, neck, shoulders and chest just relax. Maybe even the shoulders are rolling back towards the floor a little bit. And notice along with that slight tuck of the chin here, if there's a feeling of length or space along the back of the neck. And maybe alongside that, there's a feeling of softness or looseness at the sides and the front of the neck. And I just get a general sense of what all of that feels like together. And we'll find our way up to a seat, but feel free to move slowly and keep your eyes closed because your goal is really just to be able to retain that feeling of softness and looseness along the neck, especially in the sides and the front, as you carefully find your way up into any seated position that feels good. And as you settle in, notice the length of your spine lifting up out of the pelvis, the low back and the ribcage stacking on top of each other. And then is it possible to also stack the head on top of the column of the spine? So maybe there's a little bit of a tuck in the chin and a backwards glide of the base of the skull. So you recreate that effect of the back of the neck being a little bit longer, the chin being slightly tucked, and just explore the possibility of the sides of the neck being soft here. All right, when you're ready, gently opening the eyes. Thanks for practicing with me. I hope that was relaxing and helpful, and maybe give you some insight into any tension patterns that you might have around your neck. Let me know if you have any questions at all.